Gamers, welcome to not only the Burning Crusade, but Season 3 of Zone Locked. Yes, thank you. Before heading through the Dark Portal, I wanted to talk about the rules of the challenge, as some of them have changed. Now hold on, don't be upset. The change made it harder for myself. That might not make sense, so let's go over them really quick. The first rule is pretty much the same. Everything on ATT must be collected from the zone before you are allowed to leave. This includes subzones and dungeons. Pretty basic stuff. The second rule, only items obtained from your current zone or previously completed zones may be used. This was again a rule from before, so that really didn't have anything to talk about. And then the last rule, the auction house may be used for bad luck protection and consumables. Bad luck protection can only be used once every 30 hours. All gold used must be obtained by the zone lock character. Again, that's pretty self-explanatory. Basically, I took some of the rules, combined them, or worded them better so they're easier to understand. You'll notice though I said nothing about mega rares, level caps, or anything else. This is because from here on out, I will try for all mega rares. If a zone takes me 80 hours to get done because of it, I will try to split it up into multiple videos. That combined with me trying to avoid the AH as best as possible, some zones are going to take a lot longer than normal. The level cap got removed due to the item level squish in midnight, so I felt there was no need to have it anymore. I'm still staying level 35, but in future expansions I might go up like a level higher or something like that just to give myself the ability to continue doing the zone. The last bit here also changed. PvP and holidays are still not being collected, but raids, professions, and reps are now being collected, but they're not required for me to get zone completion. They're a side thing that I'm doing to add some more variety to the zones and to the videos, but this way I can grind them out for a whole expansion, and then if I have to do them later on, I can. But those are the rules. We'll have some things to talk about later on that have to do with dailies and world bosses, but we'll get there when we get there. For now, again, welcome to Outland. Let's roll the intro. Gamers. Now that we've gone through the Dark Portal, what exactly are we expecting of Outland? First off, there are rare mobs, like Fall Gorge here. What a time, you know? Then we're going into the conversation again. Can Earth and smell? I don't know. Probably. The fuck? Hey. Thanks for spawning right in front of me. Olgor, I appreciate that. Hey guys, we got a rare done. Completely by accident, because the rare spawned right in front of me. The Rockworm plate handguards of the Fire. It's Warbound now from the rare. Interesting. There are my gloves that I have on, or my things. I don't know why my weapons are equipped. I don't know why they're there. But there are the gloves. So that's our first rare. I'm literally doing archaeology, and he just spawned right in front of me. So, cool. Rare mobs in Outland are quite different from the classic ones that we've come to know. The rare ones out here have a much longer respawn time, normally 2+ hours. Not to mention they have a minimum respawn time, so War Mode and Chromie time are pretty much not going to be our saving grace anymore. Lastly, they always drop loot. The loot is normally the same armor slot, but each armor type. So Fall Gorge here, our lovely worm, drops gloves, one of each armor type. I got the plate ones, so I'm still going to need cloth, leather, and mail. Another thing that is unlike most of the rares in Classic, the rares in TBC have multiple spawn points and patrol routes. so there isn't just one location to find them. Fall Gorge here has 9 different spawn locations. To put everything simply for rares, it's not getting the drop that's hard, it's finding the mob. Rares are actually rare. There are 2 other rares in the zone. Mechthorg the Wild is a wandering orc who drops various chest piece items and likes to stick around the orc encampments inside of Hellfire. The other one is Voracam Doomspeaker, a Wrathguard who drops helmets. He, like Mechthorg, are shy and do not want to meet other people, so he sticks around the different demon encampments inside of Hellfire. Though it's not only rares that I need to get done out here. There are some vendor items. Where is this lady? Are you the lady? Yes, yes. Well, I guess we're getting the vendor out of the way. And I can just sell these back. That's nothing. We'll keep that because that's a rare I got today, and that's it. So I need just the green that she can have, so we'll have to check that then. Of course, coming into a new world, there had to be some quests that I somehow missed or just never got done, and there were. And they were pretty much the same. I had to kill demons, and then I killed demons. Oh, and then I found a Draenei corpse, and that was kind of there, and then I killed some pig near that. But that was pretty much it. There wasn't really anything special about that, but it was enough time for another rare to spawn. Guys, what's his name? Mechthorg the Wild? Well, he's Mechthorg the Dead. And I got the Demon Forged Hauberk, which to me it looks like male. It is male. Another rare item drop done. That's 2 today. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. You have seen most of what's going on in the open world part of the zone. So let's talk about the instances. Like there was with rares, it's pretty different from classic. The most important thing here is that there's no zone drops. Well, there are zone drop patterns, but since we don't really do professions very much, we don't have to worry about those. What we do need to worry about though is boss drops. A lot of the final bosses of dungeons here in TBC have over 15 drops. Khalect the Breaker, the boss you're looking at, has 18 of them. Now think of this. You're here to farm the dungeon over and over, and you're just on the final boss who keeps dropping everything you don't need, so you have to keep doing it over and over. Not to mention, multiple zones here in Outland have 3 or more dungeons. Boss drops will end up being the majority of the grind in some zones, and Hellfire is one of them. Placed right in the middle of the zone is Hellfire Citadel, a bastion of the Horde during the First and Second Wars. Inside here are 3 dungeons. The first one we'll be looking at is one of my favorites of TBC, Hellfire Ramparts. The first boss is Watchkeeper Garglemar. He was put in charge by Kargath Bladefist to keep watch. So when something gets near the Citadel, he's in charge of making sure that it can't. Either he loves his job or it's a free meal because he loves eating the hearts of those he catches. There are 3 drops that I need from him. Next up is Omar the Unscarred, the technical final boss of the Ramparts. He was a disciple of Vakar the Houndmaster, Vakar died, and then Omar took over the Fellhounds. Since then, Omar has never lost a battle, until I showed up. I need 2 drops from him. The last boss here is Vazrudin the Herald. He guards the supply line between Hellfire Citadel and the Black Temple. But really, he's known for riding a goddamn dragon. From this duo, I need 8 drops. You now have the idea of what I need to get from Ramparts, so let's grind those bosses out. Hellfire Ramparts, done so. Didn't get a single piece of Mog I needed off that boss. Okay, cool. Here's a little fun fact for you. Heroic dungeons are actually easier to do than the normal ones due to all the scaling and squishes they've done. So if I 2-shot a boss, I'm in Heroic and I'm going to go back to normal. I just want to clear that up.
Your people will kneel to my lord.
All right, am I going to get the really cool thing? I did get a belt that I needed. There's the belt. There's the belt. But more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, I got the iconic Hellreaver. This weapon is just iconic, dude. It just is. Like, it is such an iconic looking weapon. From TBC. Like, you think TBC, like early TBC, you think of this polearm.
Glorious abundance.
Aviator, I do appreciate it. Yes, finally! Something that I needed off this boss. I finally got a drop. For the 3 items I needed off him, it took me 3 runs to get something. something off this boss. So there it is. Those were the Pauldrons of Arcane Rage. There they are. How much damage? I don't have the damage meters up on this character. Okay, never mind. Boots! The Wild Stalker boots. Male boots. There they are. We needed those. I'm down to just the shield on this guy. Just the shield. All right. Well, now we're making some progress. I'm just enjoying Destro a lot. I don't know. I tried demo and leveling and just... I got the headdress. There it is. Fancy helmet. Fancy helmet. Do I gotta turntable it? Oh, it just brings that up. Nice. Cool. Omor is down to 1, and then I can just skip him once we're done with that boss. Nice. Nice, nice. Right after, didn't even get the recording up yet. Chest guard of the Prowler. Very black and yellow. There it is. Well, there's that. There's that. And sometimes the dragons like to share their loot when they're dead, and they can't stop you. You know? Yo, Honorable totally friendly. I can go finish that quest. I didn't even realize that. I'm already friendly. Kind of cruising. And I got Light Scribe bands. Bands of the Light Scribe. There they are. Wow, they are pink. And I look like I have stained glass on my arms. Alright, well that's a thing. I took a little break from the dungeon to get some questing done that I forgot about. And while I was out here, I did some mining. Pretty much all that is out here is fell iron, but I figured I could turn some of these into bars and get some stuff made. I know a guy or a few guys that can make some stuff with the materials I gather out here. I'm going to send in my work order to them and we'll see what they make. And you could send in a subscription to this channel, so that way you can keep getting Zone Lock content. For now, let's just get back to that dungeon. I really don't. And that's probably the case, is like, oh my god, we got something. Kilt of the Rolling Thunders. Shaman only male pan. I remember farming this when my shaman, I wouldn't say farming it, but getting this item when I was leveling my shaman back in who knows what expansion. I remember like trying to get this item because it's shaman only. I remember this. Well, there's that. Oh my god, I got the bracers. Holy shit, we got them. Omor is done. There are the bracers, and he even dropped his fancy little hammer. There, the hammer. It's fancy looking. But there are the bracers. Very red, very molten looking. There we go. There we go. Matt McGrubb, I am sorry. I didn't mean to pull you out of the abyss. But since you're here, I know that you're going to make it that this Blood Knight Defender is going to drop. I'm just saying, I called you out of the abyss just to make sure that you knew I was getting this drop. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Watchkeeper Gargle Wiener is done. Now it's just down to that boss. We're down to one more boss. Do a little bit of skidding. That's what we like to see. All right, come on now. Give me something I need. Bada boom, baby. Wrath-infused gauntlets. We got a boss drop. Got a boss drop. These are some nice male gauntlets. We needed them. Down to 4 more and we're done with this dungeon. We also got a ring that came with speed, but we don't want it. Why do we have this here, Rarity? I'll hide you right there. The dragon heard me, bitch. The dragon heard me, bitch. Guys, the dragon knew I was bitching. We got pants. Pants. The Life Giver breeches. We got pants. After running the dungeon for a few hours, I figured it would be time to check on the rares because they should be spawning again soon. So I went out to search for them. But before I did that, I went to check on the vendor to see if they had their last item I needed. All right, here it is. Weapon lady, she was here. There she was. Guess what? She had the weapon. There it is. In my hand now. Vendor is done. Vendor is done. We are done with the vendor today. Easy peasy. And with the vendor done, let's do a lap for the rares. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Easy rare at 1 in the morning, right before I'm about to go to bed. Or get off the PC anyway. Easy. Maybe it's just that easy. Another rare drop. This time from Falgor. Today's gloves. There they are. This is what happens when you go for runs at like super early in the morning. You just start getting things. I'm telling, like I'm just saying, 1 o'clock in the morning is the time to get the rares, apparently. That is another one done. I'm down to, I went from 9 rare drops needed to 6 because I got 1 from each. That is splendiferous, if you ask me. I know I've been in the ramparts for a good bit now, but out of the 3 dungeons in this zone, this one does have the most for me to get. So here are 2 more drops. Oh, we got something. We got a kilt. Where is it? Got a kilt. We're down to 2. We're down to 2. Oh my god, I got the raiments. We're down to just the shoulders. We actually got another drop back to back. Wow, those are green. Those are giga green. Holy, let's get a full look at those. God damn, why do I have human biceps? Are those a bicep or is that the forearm? I don't know. Whatever. I have partial human arms. I don't like that. There is one more instance in the Hellfire Citadel. Magtheridon's lair. Here, Magtheridon himself is being held below the blood furnace. Raids are not needed to progress the zone, but they're just kind of fun to do. You are a little bit... I am under geared on this Khalect, so... potential gear increase, maybe? I don't know. Glad we're just doing the fears over and over. That's real cool, gang. I know I could just kill the orcs and not have to worry about this. You are very correct. I should just do that instead of whatever it is that I am doing. All right, will I get one of the items I need from Magtheridon here? Will I? Let's find out. God, please. Stop putting me in the corner. Alright. Remember, I need a Crystal Heart Pulse Staff, Eridar Wand of Obliteration, Liar's Tongue Gloves, and the Soul Eater's Hand Wraps. Oh. We got the staff from Magtheridon. Ooh. Ooh. I don't like how I'm holding the staff, but hey, you know what? We got one of those. And after the big boy there was slain, I decided, let's go check for those rares again. Now, would he drop the... I need the cloth and the mail. No, he dropped the plate. Mr. Mechthorg the Wild, good to see you, buddy. And I'm so glad that you're here, so you could drop the Demon Weave raiment. Demon Weave raiment right here. Also dropped a duplicate. Also didn't loot dance. Why am I so bad at this? Yeah, ATT has him wrong. So he has a lot of different spawn points. I don't know if we need to update that. I will loot dance. I'm gonna loot dance. We're gonna loot dance. We shall loot dance. I'm gonna do it. Here it comes. Here it comes. I'm loot dancing. I'm loot dancing. That's right. Loot dance here in Outland. For the rare demon. See if we can get what I wanted. It's literally the item I got last night. I have it in my bag still. It's right there. It's the exact same item. It is all duplicates. I've gotten duplicates from every single rare now. I still have 2 for each, and I've gotten a duplicate. Okay, whatever. With that, I decided let's suck it up. Let's just keep running ramparts until I get the thing that I need. Well, the problem is it's just RNG because they could just miss. And guess what? Because they're orcs, they're stupid. Oh my god. That's why we didn't do the skip. That's why we didn't do the skip. I just got a Corium champion pattern. No shot. I just got a Corium champion pattern. I don't have this. This is one of the few blacksmithing patterns I don't have yet. So I was trying to do the skip. The skip didn't work, but it was all worth it because I got a Corium champion pattern. Bro. Now, yes, that was very cool, and I was very excited. I think you could tell in my voice there. I was pretty excited about getting that. But we get that final boss drop and finish up ramparts. Skinning a dragon for some leather. All right. This is it. We're looking for some volcanic pauldrons. This is what they look like. And soon we'll see what they look like in my bags. In my bags! They are! That's right. It's the volcanic pauldrons. We can look at them again. We're done. Hellfire Ramparts has been concluded. We have everything. They look really, I don't know how, I feel like I'm a turtle and like my shoulders are just like lifted up and I'm like encased. I don't know how to describe it, but that's it. That's done. It's time for the next dungeon inside this Hellfire Citadel place, you know? Yeah. Before we start on to the next dungeon, I wanted to talk about a quest. A quest from this nice lady here. She sends me over to these 3 areas that I need to capture while I'm PvP flagged, all to get a currency. This isn't the main point. Doing these are pretty easy since no one's really out here anymore. The issue is that this quest is a daily quest and the currency is going to be needed later on. So this brought up an issue that I have been thinking about how to solve since the Eastern Kingdoms. How do I handle dailies? I really didn't want to leave a zone if I had something left in it. But if all that I need from it is a daily that takes me almost 2 weeks to get everything that I need, that's not too good. Not to mention some dailies later on are RNG if you get the thing that you need or not. A zone could go from being done at say 20 hours to maybe 70 hours just because I didn't get the item I need from a quest that I can only do once a day. So I needed to figure out how I'm going to handle dailies. And what I figured out is really simple, and I don't know why it took me so long to think about it. If something in a zone is a daily, and if it's the final thing for me to do in a zone, I can leave the zone as long as I keep doing that daily every single day until I get what I need. I feel this is a good balance. Zones would be around 99% complete already, and as long as I keep doing the daily, I'm not skipping any content, I'm just doing it as much as the game will allow me to do so. Now, some of you might be asking, what exactly are dailies in WoW? Because you might not be familiar with them. There are things that you can only do once a day. The most common one is daily quest, denoted by this blue exclamation point right here. The second most common daily is dungeon lockouts. Now that we're in the Burning Crusade, heroic dungeons are a thing. You can only do them once per day, and some heroic dungeons have unique bosses that are only in heroic. There might be a few others that are special, but those are the 2 most common types. But I just wanted to get that out there and explain how I'm going to be doing them, because dailies are going to become very prevalent as we move on in later expansions. For now, let's start Blood Furnace. The first boss here in our second dungeon is the Maker. You would think with a welding mask and a claw that this guy made the Citadel, but you're wrong. He accelerates the demonification of creatures who get infused with Fel. He's more of an accelerator, not a maker. I need a singular drop from him. The next boss is Brogok. He's up after the Maker, in both the dungeon and the process of becoming a demon. If anyone or anything has a second thought about joining the Burning Legion after their Fel bath, Brogok makes sure that you submit to the Legion and you never have that thought again. Also, I need 2 drops from him. And the last boss of the Blood Furnace is Caladan the Breaker. After Illidan took control of the Outlands by overthrowing Magtheridon, he needed someone who could keep Magtheridon contained below the Blood Furnace, and Caladan was the orc for the job. He also has 2 drops that I need. Like I said, Ramparts had the majority of the drops that I needed in this zone, but let's not waste any more time and get into the Blood Furnace. That right there is the girdle of the Gale Storm. It is the only item I needed off that boss. It's got like little balls on it or something. I don't know. If Khalect was a submarine, they could be like little holes inside to look around or lights or something. I don't know. Whatever. I got it. It's there. Easy peasy. That boss is not needed anymore. However, I do need to kill him like every single time to get through, but I got the drop. I got gloves. We got gloves. We got gloves. Bloody surgeon mitts. There they are. There they are. The bloody surgeon mitts. I don't know why my bracers look like that, but they do. Got another pattern. Nether Drake helm. Leatherworking. Rare leatherworking pattern that I don't have yet on my account. Nether Drake helm. That's what it looks like, but I got another pattern. Last time I said this, I'll say it again. We take those. We take those. At this point, I only needed 3 more drops. That makes sense. I only needed 5. I got 2. That's math. But just like everything else, the more you have, the less you need to get. The less you need to get, the harder it is to get them because you have everything else in the loot table dropping. So at this point, it's just running the dungeon and farming the rares. Like this guy. The demon. Goodbye, demon. Give me helmet. Yes! 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 We got the Legion helmet with the quick blade. Another rare drop concluded. I just need 1 more from him, so 5 more rare drops, and we are donezo with the rares. Not only did we get this new pattern, we also got the cloth wrists that you, well, can't see. There they are. We're done with this boss. We're down to the final boss for 2 more drops. It's taking its time, but you know what? We're doing it. Slow and steady wins the race. Well, I rolled. Touch of death. Ah, shit, I rolled again. Touch of death. Give me something I need. My man. My man. The Demon Weave Raiment of the Fire Flash. I needed that shit. What's it look like? Red. Was that? That is him. Hello, Mr. Demon. Can we get the demon? He was swimming. Demon Crown? Demon Crown. First rare, done. First rare, concluded. There it is. Legion Crown. My bad, not Demon Crown. I don't have rarity set up. We'll probably have it set up for the next video because I forgot to do it. 1 rare, done. Done. Rare concluded. We're just... That's how you start a stream. That is how you start a stream at twitch.tv/Knabble. That is how you start a stream. Let's go. I actually got one of the drops I needed. We got the belt, the Mindfire waistband, and a armor stamina gem. Wow. We did get the belt. Cloth belt. There it is. Cloth belt. I'm now down to just the raiments of divine authority. We are down to 1 drop and soon to be 1 dungeon. All right. I need hand wraps or gauntlets. Baby! We got the hand wraps. There they are. Nope, nope. We don't need them because I got them. We both got the hand wraps. There we go. There we go. I should have danced right in Valor. I really should have. That's my fault. That is my fault. Thank you very much, Jess, for showing me that. I'm down to 2 rare drops. 2 rare drops. Is up. Happy day. You want to maybe drop your rockworm scale gauntlets? Son of a bitch, you're so good, Fall Gorge. That's my man right there. I am done with Fall Gorge. There it is. The worm is done. The worm is done. We got the rockworm scale gauntlets right before the ad break started. Let's go. I am ecstatic. Bedroom. Actually, not a bad idea. I do have a green screen, and if you ever bring up the green screen, me and my green screen, the Drek, he'll bring up the same thing, which is he called it the green screen wars. Because for some reason I had a green screen, it was working, it was doing stuff, but then it just didn't. It like sometimes like the corner the lighting would be weird. It changed somehow, and even though I didn't change anything, the lighting did, and it pissed me off. Like I got really annoyed with the green screen sometimes. All right. Raiments! We're done. Finally, Blood Furnace is done after many, 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 many kills. Hold on. We can actually look it up because it's the final boss. Dungeons and Raids. Come on, hold on. Burning Crusade. Khalect the Breaker. Blood Furnace. It took me 25 kills to get it. 25 kills to kill him, to get it, to get that one drop. 25. There's what it looks like. Here it is. Very priestly. That's it. Blood Furnace is done. We are down to Shattered Halls and the rare. And that's right. The final dungeon is the Shattered Halls. A dungeon with nothing but pure violent and evil and aggressive. And oh, I got my mail. Let's see what I got. I got a Fel Iron Chain Coif, a Fel Iron Hammer, some Fel Iron Plate Pants, and a Fel Iron Hatchet. A real grab bag of Fel Iron stuff, but I did give Fel Iron ore, so I got Fel Iron back. That makes sense. Nothing that's really usable, but it's transmog. But I don't think there's anything else to do before the dungeon, so let's take a look at Shattered Halls. The first boss is Grand Warlock Nethercurse. Once a shaman of the Shadow Moon clan, he abandoned his link to the elements to become the warlock we know today, though he is just a husk of what he once was. And I'm going to leave him with absolutely nothing once I get the final drop I need from him. The second boss here is a special one, Bloodguard Porung. This orc once stormed an enclave of Draenei paladins in Shatrath and killed all in his wake, but during the fight was wounded. Too much so to follow the horde to Azeroth, so he recovered and now serves Kargath Bladefist here in the Citadel. Though that's not what makes him special. What does is that he is a boss that can only be spawned in the heroic version of the dungeon. So let's hope that the single drop I need from him doesn't take that long. The third boss, or I should say bosses, is a dual-headed ogre named Warbringer Amrong. He is considered one of the Fel Horde's deadliest members, except for one glaring issue. The two ogre heads cannot agree on anything. They even made a 12-step plan to help them work together, but they can't even decide what step to start on. So it's still kind of a work in progress. From this boss, I actually don't need anything at all, so we're just going to skip by him. And the final boss of this dungeon, and the zone, is Warchief Kargath Bladefist, chieftain of the Shattered Hand clan. Kargath is one of the greatest orcish heroes. He severed both of his hands and replaced them with blades. You know, Bladefist is his clan. He derives joy from hurting others and himself. And I derive joy from getting the 4 drops that I need from him. But that's the Shattered Halls. Not much else to say, so let's get farming. Alright, next drop, now that we're in Shattered Halls, I did get the Tulari Hunting Girdle. It is a mail belt off the first boss. However, that is the first boss done and done. I don't need to kill him anymore. Even though I guess if I pull the final boss, he might come along with it. I don't know. There it is. That's said and done. Dunzo. Out of all the cloth that's just in the game, all the different types of cloth, I really do feel that Netherweave is just like the most abundant of it. There's so much Netherweave. Constantly. Alright. We're just in combat with that guy. Anyway. Nexus Torch and Gauntlet of Desolation. We got a 2-for-1 special. And a green that I needed. So we got some gloves. And we got a wand. And I got some random green mail helmet. Dang, what a... Whew. Whew. Not a bad run. Not a bad run. So I am down to 2 boss drops. And then the 1 boss drop in Heroic. That'd be that. I'd be so down with that. It'd be insane. Anyway, what do we get? Oh, I thought I got both. Nope, I did get the Wastewalker gloves, which were needed. I did need these. For some reason, my tooltip's behind... What? Why is my tooltip behind my... What is going on? Why is my tooltip behind my bags? Whatever, we got the gloves. We got the gloves I needed. There it is. We got it. Another one done. Oh, it just seems like other rugs would have been a lot easier to come by and I don't know. Bands of rarefied magic. Rarefied. I don't really know how to say that word. I want to be real with you. But that's the last boss drop from here. Not counting the heroic one. I know it says remote zones, chat. We'll go talk to those later. But just that now. This is literally the last drop of dungeons for normal mode. Is these bracers. Since Porung is heroic only, he is a daily, but he's not the last thing in the zone to go after. There is still one rare drop missing. Just pull. I know you're going to aggro when I try to do the dance. Let's just get this over with. Come on. Yeah, break is in just a few seconds. I want to loot dance. All right, here we go. For Mechthorg, the Wild. We even have a backup, Ben. Mechthorg here has one more drop for me. I need one more thing from this man right here. And then pretty much Hellfire Peninsula would be done. This is the fourth chess piece. The fourth of the same chess piece I think I've gotten off this guy. He does not want to give me the one that I need. It's like the fourth one of this male chess piece, dude. Come on. There's currently 5 on the auction house, and I have 2 of them ready to sell. But later that night, that male chess piece streak was broken. You dropped the last item I needed.
Oh, nice.
I'm done with the rares in Hellfire.
Congrats, King.
I am moving on to the next zone tomorrow, most likely. What the dude?
You're zooming, man.
At this point, there are 3 more things in the zone that I am missing. The first one is the pants off of Porung, the heroic only boss in Shattered Halls. We already talked about him. I'm missing him. The second is the Honor Hold or Thrallmar reps. And I know what some of you are asking. Knabble, you didn't do reps in Classic. Why are you doing them now? As I'm sure most of you know, I'm exalted with the majority of the reps in the game. I didn't want to do a lot of them over again. At some point, reps will become account-wide. I'm not sure when, but they're going to. So I didn't do them in Classic. Not to mention the reps in Classic, I pretty much have everything from them. I didn't need to do them again. Now that we're in TBC, it's somewhat of a different story, just like everything else has been. I still have the reps done for the most part, but it's a lot easier to get exalted. Just farming the dungeons alone almost got me exalted. I figured with how easy it is to get some of the reps and how quick the zones are going, I could add these in here and get some vendor items on Khalect that you could possibly get. Not all vendor items can be gotten due to needing to be a set class to get some items, but I got what I could. Reps still are not needed to leave a zone, but I go for them anyway for fun, just like raids. And the final thing that I am missing in this zone, and I know a lot of you are wondering what I'm going to do about it, world bosses. I have been playing this game since late TBC. During all that time, I have found Kazak up 1 time, and it was his corpse. I did kill Doomwalker in Shadow Moon Valley 1 time. The reason these guys are not up much is due to the different layers or sharding or whatever you want to call it for the different zones. If people are not in them long enough, it dies and resets when a new person comes in. So these world bosses are hardly ever up because nobody's out here long enough for them to spawn. Not to mention, if they do spawn, they are killed pretty much instantly. I think this will only work in TBC because I haven't looked that much farther, so I'm not sure. But I made a way for me to get these drops without having to kill the bosses. For some reason here in the Burning Crusade, all the world bosses, all 2 of them, their drops are all bind on equip, meaning I can buy them. Though I feel just buying them outright wouldn't be very fun. Plus, there's a lot of things that I never go for because I already have them. So I put them together in what I like to call the bonus list. This list is of big important things or unique farmable items that I already have, like legendaries, mounts, pets, toys, special transmog. I have it all. I don't need to farm it again. But if I do, and I get it, I can buy a world boss drop. Some things in here are easier than others, but all of them are a bonus. The only things in here that I don't have are getting a full tier set for a class that I'm missing on, getting 90% of the TBC world drops, and fully collecting a raid, except Gruul and Magtheridon, they don't count, they're too small. I feel this is a really good compromise because now I can farm mounts and rarer things that I already have and actually get something out of it, and you guys get to see me go for some of the harder to get drops that I already have. Now, as I've been sitting here chatting with you guys, in the background, I was secretly doing the dungeons over and over for rep for Honor Hold. Why don't we go look at that vendor? then I get to buy the 2 things from the quartermaster that I need, which is this sword, and let's go to all, and this gun. That's it. All that is left here is Lebowski, which he is an engineering trainer, which it wants me to make these goggles because Outland engineering, which I cannot do because they're going to be engineering stuck. I will figure out a way on how to get them. I could either send the match through Khalect just over to my DK and have him do it, or I don't worry about them because you need engineering to actually do. Oh yeah, probably should do this. Here's what the sword looks like. And here is what the gun looks like. There you go. I then went over to the Horde side and started grinding out the dungeons again to fill out the Thromar rep, thinking that I needed to get their items as well. And, well, let's just say you can see what I found out here in a second. There you are. Now I remember. All right. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Oh my god, it did. No. I bought the sword on Alliance side and the gun on Alliance side, which in turn gave me the Horde versions of it. I didn't need to get the rep for for Thromar on Horde side. I didn't need to do this. They actually just give me the item for Alliance and Horde. I didn't know it did that. I just spent the last, like, hour rep farming so I could buy this, and I did not need to do it. Whatever, I guess we're done Hellfire. Now this next and final Hellfire clip is from the future. Thanks for the Bronze Dragonflight getting this for me. This is from the not-so-distant future of me getting the pants. So technically, this is a spoiler, but I felt you guys should see me clear up the zone since I have the footage. Alright, finish my sandwich. Looking for the pantaloons of Flaming Wrath. We have obtained the pantaloons of Flaming Wrath. We have done it. We are done with the dungeon and done with Hellfire Peninsula. There they are. We have got the pants. They are done. And we're excited. Now, how far in the future did I get this footage from? Well, you're just going to have to find out. Right now, the only future thing that we care about is what zone we get next. So, just to remind everyone of what we have, going to Zangarmarsh unlocks Nagrand and unlocks Blade's Edge. Terakar, after Terakar, we have Shadowmoon Valley, Nagrand, and the starting zones of the Blood Elves and the Draenei. So, there's that. We're going with it. We have 10 Terakars, 10 Zangarmarshes. They're going to come down the funnel into this little speedway, and then they just kind of go. Whatever happens, happens. Ready, set, go. And currently, oh, I can't see. They're falling down. We're in our little spiral here going down the way. Terakar, well, hold on. This Terakar is actually in the lead. Is it, though? Not really, because it doesn't know which one. That Terakar has made its way in first. I personally am believing in Terakar Forest. I would like this one to be first, because it unlocks a bunch of stuff for me to do. But I am not really caring either way. You almost kill. It's gone. It's gone. Zangarmarsh is now the lead. Terakar said it doesn't want to be part of the race anymore. Zangarmarsh came right through into this tube. Into the second funnel. Spinning around. Terakar, another Terakar just said, I don't want to be part of the race anymore. They're coming, though. Zangarmarsh is still in the lead. There's a new Terakar in the way. Zangarmarsh getting stuck on an uppy-downy. Again, I just name things whatever I want. 2 Zangarmarshes in the lead. They got to find the hole to get through. And it's through. We have a nice comb here, just pushing them around town. Another Terakar has entered the thing. It's currently in the lead. Could it take it back? A lot of the Terakars are just falling off. But this Terakar is currently in the lead. Followed up by 3 Zangarmarshes and another Terracar. Oh, it doesn't know what's going on. Zangarmarsh took over. 1 Zangarmarsh. It's got mushrooms. Should be called Zangar Mush. I am very funny. I know. He's passing all the uppy downies. Oh, it got hit by 1. Terracar is still right behind him, though. Very close game, very close game. Anyone's game yet. We still have a little bit more to go. Everyone's just stuck back there. It's a race between these two. 1 Terracar Forest and 1 Zangarmarsh. Anything could happen. Just like that, Terracar took the lead. It's going to hit the boost first. It made it. It's going to be very hard for Zangarmarsh to come back from this. But however, Terracar f***ed up. It had too much speed. It had too much speed. It's going the wrong way. Where'd that Zangarmarsh come from? It just came from out of nowhere. That's it. That's game. Unless somehow, some way it dies here. And it didn't. Zangarmarsh has won. And that is it. Zangarmarsh 8 is the winner. Hellfire is now completed, and Khalect is ready to hit up his next zone. But before that, you may have noticed that there's some extra icons on this map. The zones that have them have extra things attached to them, either during the zone or after, and we'll go over to that into detail when we get to those zones, but I wanted you guys to be aware of them for now. Let's head to that next zone. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Outland. That was the first episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun with it, because I'm having a lot of fun in TBC, so I hope you enjoyed the video as well. As always, if you liked the video, like it. If you want to see more Zone Locked or just collection-focused content, then feel free to subscribe. We have a Discord. I stream over on Twitch. We have a guild. We have a community. You guys know how that goes. That's just YouTube mumbo-jumbo. But I really do appreciate you guys for hanging out. If your name is on the side here, that means you are a YouTube member, and I really appreciate you guys for just giving all the support. Without you, I wouldn't be here today. So, thank you. But with that, I'm going to skedaddle, and get on out of here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.